Hey, what up? It's your boys, Jake and Paris at Through the Ropes podcast, and we just wanted to give a special shout out to our sponsors. We got Fresh Bread Productions. We just had some amazing fire artisan pizza and also Great Northern Dispensary. If you need bud that's better than good, go check out Great Northern, man. Thank you very much. Today we have a good friend on here. Paris, you know him a little bit better than I, but we have a good buddy, Maxx Galland, local yokel from around here. Max, how we doing today?
Doing great, man. Glad
Nice.
to be in the booth with y'all.
Yeah, hanging out. Yeah, I see you got a Great Falls Ski Patrol repping.
That's right. I was deciding what to wear tonight, and I was like, you know what? I'll just throw on the ski patrol. I feel like that's been my vibe lately.
Yeah, hopefully they haven't been keeping you too busy out there so far this year.
Been pretty busy, but it's been good. Snow's been good up at Showdown, and can't ask for anything else.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before the show started. It seems like they've been getting hammered the last couple of weeks, especially this last week or so.
Dude, this last week has been crazy. I think they got about 5 feet of fresh snow in total for inches. And man, Sunday was up there, waist deep powder, cold smoke, good old Montana.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
I'll skip the beer, but I might have a couple of J's in the trees, you know what I mean? So that's awesome, dude. That's fun. That's quite a bit of change. Last year they had kind of a light snowfall compared to what we got going on.
Yeah, way light. Actually, we just with this storm are 3 inches past our entire total for last year. So we're at 175 inches, and last year we got 172. So
Wow.
yeah. More coming, and glad.
And you, Paris, you've been making it up the hill. You made it at least once, didn't you?
I made it a couple of times when Ryan Coons came to town, and then one time before that. So
Nice.
Been riding a little bit. I am very jealous that you got to ride this last weekend. Got a baby coming, so I can't exactly leave town. But yeah, no, that powder looked awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to get a call at the top of the hill saying, get to town now with icy roads. And yeah, no bueno.
Or all of a sudden have like 20 texts like, where the hell are you?
That's actually my real fear, is being like, where are you? I got to go to the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on my way. Just
2 more runs.
2 more runs.
Hear me out.
How dilated are you?
Yeah. Can we FaceTime, do some breathing exercises? And that's awesome. So Max, let's back it up a little bit. You're a Great Falls local. Let's hear a little bit about you. You're from Great Falls. Tell us a little bit about you growing up. You know, you were a wrestler and stuff like that. Let's hear a little bit.
So grew up in Great Falls. I went to Vaughn School for elementary, and then Sun River Middle School for 2 years, and then transferred to Paris Gibson, and wanted to make friends before high school. Went to high school at Great Falls High. My great-grandfather was actually the first graduating class from Great Falls High, so I'm 4th generation Great Falls High graduate, which is kind of cool. Wrestled my whole life, basically. Started when I was 5 with SRV wrestling. This is little guy wrestling, and Sun River Valley is what that stands for. And yeah, then when I was in high school, I wrestled 135, 152, 160, and then 171 for my senior year.
Okay.
Ended up taking 3rd place at state freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then finally ended up state chump at my senior year.
That's awesome, dude.
Cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah. If you're ever going to get it, that senior year is...
Yeah, I should have got it my junior year too, but lost in the semifinals to a guy that I beat earlier in the year. And I was looking to the finals match, and yeah, I got spanked.
Yeah. What do you remember his name?
I don't. He was from Missoula Big Sky, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how old are you?
Just turned 34.
Okay. So you wrestled, my brother wrestled in the same time as you did. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Same grade and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, he was across the river.
Right. he wasn't same weight division as you?
No, he was a little bigger than me.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. He wrestled, I think, like 175 or something like that. So
I think he was
maybe
a
even
little bigger than that.
180
Yeah, 189.
Yeah, 89. Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that always like your favorite sport, or did you play any other sports too? Or
I played football as well. Really liked football. I was a lot better at wrestling. Kind of kicking myself nowadays. Freshman year, I cut from 152 to 135 to make varsity. And that really killed like my love for the sport. And after that, I could never see myself wrestling after my senior year, which I had, a couple good colleges offer me, like good scholarships and stuff for wrestling. And I was in no way wanted to do that. But now looking back, I was like, man, 4 more years of that would have been nothing.
Yeah.
I had school paid for and instead paid for school out of my own pocket and all that good stuff.
Right.
But, yeah.
We probably still had fun while you were doing it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely fun.
So you just didn't want to continue the weight cuts, or?
Yeah, I was just burnt out. Like been wrestling since I was 5 and then all the way, doesn't seem that long now, but till I was 18 and I was just like, never again.
Yeah.
And I really haven't even gone back, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah. Well, maybe you need to talk to someone and get in there and get in on some rooms, get in some wrestling and do.
I've thought about it, trying to coach or do something like that for fun, but
Yeah.
snowboarding and
Yeah.
wrestling are in the same season. So
And obviously
I got a big love for snowboarding.
you got the prior commitments.
Yeah. Got to pick one.
So were you always skiing / snowboarding, or do you ski at all too then? Or yeah, duh.
I
'cause
did.
You had those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned how to ski first at 5 as well. So wrestling and skiing at the same time. And then all my cousins that lived in Washington were older than me. They snowboarded and I always watched them. And I was like, I want to snowboard, and kept hounding my mom. And then finally, I think I was 9 and I got a hand-me-down snowboard and never really looked back. I do have a pair of telly skis that I take out every once in a while, but
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
Yeah. So were your coaches ever a little annoyed that you liked doing an extreme sport during wrestling season?
Yeah, they did not like it at all. In fact, during the wrestling seasons, we weren't even really allowed to go to Showdown. But I still went anytime I could, and would skip school on a good powder Wednesday, go up. So
Yeah.
as long as I didn't get hurt, they weren't too upset.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like we were talking before we started the show, like we used to skip a shitload of school when I went to the alternative high school. If there was powder flying, like we were definitely skipping school. So
Gotta have priorities.
yeah. Well, I did take an extra year to graduate, so that may have also had something to do with that. But.
Yeah, you got a minor in powder study.
Right, exactly. Well, what was really cool is that they had like an advanced PE class, and you literally like I got like a whole credit basically. Well, I had to write a long ass paper, and I did some other shit too. I'm not trying to make it, but a chunk of it they allowed me to just go up to Showdown, and if I had like a dude, like a person that worked there, like sign my slip for going up there, they'd give me a couple hours or towards the credits or whatever that I needed. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty awesome to say that I got a credit basically off of snowboarding and enjoying going to Showdown and
Heck
skipping
yeah.
school. So
Can't say that. That's for sure.
yeah. So how did you do any type of competitive skiing, snowboarding, anything like that when you were younger?
Yeah, I did. I did a lot. I had big dreams of being a professional anything when I was a kid. And, once you get to your 30s, that dream kind of closes really fast. I don't think there's much pro left for us. But yeah, I always wanted to be pro snowboarder, pro skateboarder, or any of that. But never panned out. Yeah.
So what did you do, like downhill, like slalom, is it, or what?
No, just snowboarding competitions. I would do
like
slope
trick
style.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then just the casual racing competition every now and again.
Nice.
But mostly tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my closest I ever got, I went to USAA. Wait, what is it called? USA? I think that's right. United Snowboard Associations of America. Anyway, big competition down at Copper Mountain in Colorado. And I had to place in 2 competitions in Idaho to get invited down there. And then we got to compete there on like the professional woodward course. and I ended up taking third for my age division. I wasn't in the open, which was like the sponsored pro class. So that was the coolest thing I ever did. There was maybe 6 or 7 of us competing, so it wasn't that big of a pool, but to take third in that environment,
Right.
yeah, it was pretty
Well, that's
cool.
a pretty, like, even though there's only 6, like, that's probably, those 6 people are probably really good at what they're doing.
Yeah,
so.
they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where was that at?
Copper Mountain,
Where's, I don't know.
down in Colorado, outside of Denver. It's
Okay.
like in the big ski hill area,
Like west of
Breckenridge, near Vail.
Okay.
A Basin is down there too, and that there's like
I've
all
heard of them.
Yeah,
I know they're famous. But
yeah,
Yeah.
and Aspen's hop skipping away, and yeah, it's a pretty cool area.
And then you said you had to compete in 2 in Idaho. Where at in Idaho were you?
Yep, up in Schweitzer, Idaho, North Idaho. Sandpoint is a little town it's at. Yeah, there was just 2 slopestyle competitions there that qualified you for it. I used to work at Schweitzer at a little hotel restaurant as a bartender and waiter.
Nice.
And it was pretty cool. It was a fancy joint. You had to wear, black button up, and a tie was not, they wanted you to wear a tie.
It was required. It wasn't optional.
Required. Yeah, it was optional, but it wasn't required.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. It was right on the slope, and people would come in their snow gear, and yeah, it was pretty rad.
That's always a fun atmosphere. I always love, like, going into the lodge after, running all day and, well, I mean, not having a beer anymore, but just kind of chilling out. It's always like a fun atmosphere after a long day of hitting the slopes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
The après scene is awesome up there.
So how did you end up working over there? My sister lived in Coeur d'Alene for like 17 years, so we made it up to Sandpoint quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was living in Great Falls and kind of spinning my wheels, not really knowing what I wanted to do. And my oldest cousin, David, he lived in Sandpoint. He's like a custom carpenter, does all kinds of fancy anything basically. And he needed help. He got hired to remodel this entire new bar that was there. And so I was like, screw it. I'm not doing anything here in Great Falls. I'll just move out there with you and learn how to build stuff and see where that takes me. And I knew Schweitzer was there. Siri, you're ruining it. So I just figured I'd move up to Idaho with my cousin David and see where that got me. I knew Schweitzer was up there and still had aspirations of being a pro snowboarder. And so I was like, well, there's a lot more going on up there than what's going on here. So I might as well try it.
Well, and when you're like 15 minutes or what less to a mountain compared to, I mean, it's only an hour and a half here, but still.
Yeah. Depending on the roads, it can be pretty treacherous, but getting up to Schweitzer from Sandpoint was, like you said, 15 minutes and you're at the hill. So
yeah,
it was awesome.
That's a cool ass town. I haven't spent like a bunch of time there. We'd always just go chill at the lake when we were doing stuff there, but it looks like a super fun town.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Great small town vibes. You get the perfect mix of like the really, really rich people who have the nice ass lake house that they're there, 3 times a year, and then the grungy people who take care of them, and it's just a great melting pot. It's
kind of got like a Whitefish vibe, or
it's especially the mountain itself is, I would call it a sister mountain to Whitefish. It's almost the same elevation, like same aspect. You kind of got the same vibes where you got the front bowls and you got the back bowls of Whitefish. It's very similar.
Awesome.
And you got the lake views, which is sick.
I just thought it would be super fun. I watched the movie Out Cold when I was like 10 years old, like 9 years old. And I just thought it would be super fun just to live into like a ski town like that and just year round. I mean, like it's a tourist destination in the summer too, just because of the hill and all the shit around it. But
yeah.
The wintertime, I bet you have some pretty fun stories from, hanging out with some people down there.
Oh yeah. The local hangouts, when you're in the restaurant scene, you kind of just hang out with restaurant people because they have the same shifts and same hours. So yeah, we'd all get off work at like midnight or later and then hang out until probably 5 a.m. and
or later.
sleep. Yeah, sleep a couple hours, get up, go get a couple runs in before work, and do it all over again. It was
awesome.
It was a blast.
I honestly I love what I do as a carpenter, but some days I really miss being a waiter and just like some of the chaos and just, I don't know. It was just fun, dude. And it was just like a bunch of people being super fucking inappropriate.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a lot of my dealings anyways with the service industry. And I don't know. It was some days it really sucked, but most times it was pretty chill and just, there's something fun in like the chaos of all the shit going on.
Oh yeah, especially during the busy times in a vacation spot. You know, you'd get slammed and get in the weeds, and you make it through, and then you're all like, "Oh, thank God, we need a beer after this."
There's nothing better than taking like a shot, drinking a beer after a bullshit shift, and just like everyone just kind of like dumping on their like terrible people.
Did you see table 12? I can't believe it.
Oh my God, 14 needed their ranch.
Oh, laying in bed, you're just like,
They snap.
and they tipped me well. They're so nice.
Right. I'm the worst piece of shit. Yeah, I do miss the serving scene a little bit. So then, how long were you over there for?
Let's see. I was over there for about 3 years, and then
This was post high school.
yeah, post high school.
Okay.
This is probably 22, 23 to about 25, 26,
Okay.
around that area.
Nice.
And then I had worked my way all the way up into the bar, and I was strictly bartending, no more waiting. And I had all the gravy shifts. I was all the night shifts, so I could ski every day. And it was literally the last day of the season employee party when they close down the mountain, but they get all the employees out riding. And I was following my homie. He goes and just does this perfect front side Indy 7. And I'm like, okay, I can match that, and just go backside, tail grab 7, over rotate, land, blow my knee out. Like tore my ACL completely.
Damn.
And so I had to be 25 at that time because I was still on my parents' insurance. So yeah, thankfully I was still covered. Yeah. But what I was still walking around. I was still bartending and stuff, so I didn't think it was too serious.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't cover me getting checked out in Idaho, so I had to go back to Great Falls to even get it looked at, get an MRI. And once I did that, I thought it was just going to be like a meniscus tear or like a big strain or something. And once I got the MRI back, they were like, no, your ACL is completely cut. So if it had been a meniscus, it would have been like a 6 to 9 week deal, and I would have been healed up and ready to go. But with the ACL, had to have full ACL surgery, where they took part of my hamstring and used that. But it became a 6 to 9 month rehab. So at that point, I was going to be basically in crutches for probably 3 or 4 months. So I couldn't really bartend, especially at the ski hill, because, you know, there's all kinds of hazards up there. So made the decision, had to move back to Great Falls and basically start over.
Yeah.
So it was pretty lucky. I was able to stay at my grandparents' house for free and just heal up and kind of get back on my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice when our families are, you know, luckily my parents let me stay at their house multiple times when I kind of needed to move back. And yeah, it's nice when our families are in the financial position to kind of help us out like that. And
Well, they let me know about it, but they let me stay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Better be fucking sweeping that floor up over there, dude.
Yeah.
Cleaning the toothpaste out of the fucking bowl.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe no toothpaste in the sink, man.
Living the bachelor life ain't allowed.
Yeah,
You're
no.
staying at Granny's house.
Hell no, dude. Yeah, that's a little bit tougher there. You're trying to sneak in it too.
Yep. And then I really had every intention of moving back to Idaho and just kind of going back to the ski bum life. But met a lady here in Great Falls, Stephanie, and she got me wrapped up. So now we're engaged, gonna get married here this summer, and yeah,
That's awesome.
bought a house together and working at the refinery here in town and ski patrol and working at Showdown in the terrain park. And yeah, just kind of put down some roots, and we'll probably be here for quite some time now.
Yeah. Do you ever plan on maybe going back to Idaho? It's a cool little territory, but that whole area, I mean, it's always been kind of, there's a lot of rich people up there, but it's fucking, that's why my sister left Post Falls, because it's blown up the last like 10 years. Man. It's been fucking insane.
Exactly. If you could find some job where you can afford to live there with a family, then heck yeah. But
especially north up there where you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. It is just like Whitefish, where, it's really expensive.
Restaurants, hotels.
It's really expensive. Yeah. So like if you're not living the ski bum life, there's kind of no in between,
right?
Which kind of sucks. But my cousin, he's still living up there, so we always have a place to crash and an excuse to go visit. Yeah. So
yeah, it's a beautiful town, man. I want to get back over there. My wife and I were just talking about for New Year's, maybe next year, meeting my sister somewhere over there and doing some shit up there. But
yeah, there's endless stuff to do. I would love to live back there again, but I'd have to be doing something that pays really well.
Right.
That whole refineries up there.
Yeah. That whole area is super fun. I love that whole area. Yeah. So how long have you been working on the ski patrol then? When did you start doing
this? This is my first year on the ski patrol. I'm still a candidate. I'm not officially ski patrol yet. Okay. I'm still doing all the stuff, duty days. So my good buddy, AJ Korslin, he convinced me to go out for a ski patrol because I'm always going in the backcountry with him. And he's like, you really need to know some medical stuff in case, some shit goes down.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. So he convinced me to take the OEC course, which is Outdoor Emergency Care, which is the prerequisite for ski patrol. And I kind of got into it, bit off a little more than I could chew, what I anticipated, because this will be 2 years now, and I'm still not even full ski patrol. So it was a whole year of just training and learning the medical side and all that good stuff. And now I'm in the hands-on training at the hill. I still have to learn my toboggan and some other stuff that I have to cross off my list before I'm an official ski patrol.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been quite the long journey, but I'm glad I did it. It's pretty cool.
So what is there a bunch of is the training, like as far as a lot of the medical stuff, is it a lot like what a paramedic's training would be, or do they focus on maybe some different stuff versus what?
So when you're done with the OEC, you are an EMR officially, so emergency medical responder. So we can do almost everything EMT can, emergency medical technician. We can't give drugs. That's the only thing.
I was just about to ask where the morphine's at.
Yeah, so that's where we can't even give people aspirin. We can have aspirin given to them and they can self-administer and stuff, but we can't give anything. So that's kind of where the fine line is.
So why I guess I don't know. I guess you wouldn't want people just regular Joe Blows handed. But if you're like basically an EMT, you'd think they would be fine with certain stuff. But
yeah, it's a whole nother level of training for that. Yeah. What's cool about Great Falls Ski Patrol is we have, I believe, 2 doctors, and then I think almost everyone else is like a nurse or close to EMT or something like that. So there's plenty of medical experts on there. Yeah. Which is nice for me because I can do all the hands-on physical stuff that Ski Patrol does, like shoveling and, setting up fences and doing all that stuff, while they can take care of the medical stuff.
Right. So a lot of people, I guess, would just assume that ski patrol would just be you strictly. I mean, that's kind of how I saw it too. But so it's more than just you responding to people being hurt on the hill. You said you're setting up fences, and is that like safety zone?
Yeah, actually, our whole job is just to keep people safe on the mountain, no matter what. So that means putting up fences, keeping people from going out of bounds, getting lost, or hitting runs that may have avalanche danger, setting up merging signs, and clearing trees that fall down. That's like my favorite thing to do, is to go take the chainsaw with the snowboard and go cut down a tree that's fallen down. And so there's just endless stuff that we have to do up there just to keep everybody as safe as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like a pretty full-time job on top of your full-time.
Yeah. So we have, I believe, 4 or 5 pro patrollers at Showdown. So those are the paid patrollers that work there during the week, and on the weekends they do stuff as well. And then on Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, special events, we have just volunteer patrollers. So it's all volunteer, not paid at all. We do get some sweet perks for doing it, but yeah, it's all volunteer.
You get a free slice of pizza?
We give pizzas. Yeah, we get free season passes, passes for the families. They get rentals and whatever. So they
George
really take
seems
care
like
of
a
us.
good dude. I mean, just knew him through going up to the hill and stuff. And then he used to come in. I used to be a waiter at Ricky's Pizza and Pasta, and him and his wife used to come in there all the time. So
Oh yeah,
they seem like good people. And then, well, now my dad's working up there, and he had a family friend's wife ended up passing away in Salt Lake, and they straight up like offered to like buy his plane ticket. And
yeah.
they've treated my dad very well, and I know a few people, Jesse and Jamie, and you know.
Oh yeah, it's a big family up there. They really take care of their own really, really well, and they make you feel welcome no matter who you are. So it's an awesome place, little gem for our state. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad it's only an hour away.
Right.
Isn't Showdown the oldest ski resort in Montana also?
Yep, it's the oldest continually operated ski hill in Montana, which is pretty sweet.
That is awesome. I didn't know that.
I want to say I don't even know. I think we're at 80 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you knew what year it opened.
I don't off the top of my head. Yeah.
I know I've looked at that picture like a million times of like, that's on the wall of like when they opened and shit. But
yeah. It was opened because of the miners in Neihart and Monarch. They would go up there and ski. So then they eventually opened up the ski hill.
That's awesome. Yeah, it'd be fun to kind of look into the history of that. Just that whole area, dude. That whole drive right through there, Monarch and Neihart, and just the ski hill, and then down over to White Sulphur. There's a lot of really cool history in that area.
Yeah, it's and Showdown's kind of like a good heartbeat of that entire area. I don't know if that area would still really be around if Showdown wasn't there, because I mean, over half the people that live in Neihart work or do something at Showdown, and White Sulphur too. And the hotels there, it's always booked up. People are going to Showdown in the wintertime. And so it's
hard to say, but I feel like a lot of those towns, I mean White Sulphur, I mean shit, dude, they got the freaking whatchamacallit, the pools, or
the hot springs.
But I just I don't know, man. That hill brings a lot of water to a lot of that area.
Oh yeah.
When there's obviously snowmobiling and other outdoor activities, but anyone that I know that's doing stuff in that area in the wintertime is usually snowboarding or something.
Yeah.
Does ski patrol respond to like snowmobiling stuff too on the other side?
No, we do not. That would be the search and rescue, depending on which side of the county they're on, either Cascade County Search and Rescue or Marr County Search and Rescue.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
What's do you have like any like crazy stories from ski patrol or just snowboarding in general? That one you told about tearing your knees.
Intense. That was a good one. I didn't have to be carted out, which was cool. I made it down, but let me think for a second on any crazy stories skiing, snowboarding. I don't really have anything super bad that's happened.
Well, he thinks about one. I'll tell one real
Yeah.
quick.
Okay, you go.
Well, one time, the one time, so I did have to unfortunately get cart taken out by ski patrol because I was with a buddy like. That was probably like 11 or 12 years ago. And we were on Panhandle, like near the bottom. And we were just kind of zigzagging back and forth. And he was just taking huge wide cuts. And I was like more off to the left-handed side. And he kind of just like veered over and I didn't see him. And I was cutting right and he was cutting left. And I clipped him, dude. And I fucking went flying, had a big old yard sale. And then like I hit my knee super hard on his, whatever I hit. And yeah, dude, I went to like stand up and I couldn't fucking, yeah, it was tough. I went down a little further and there was like no way. Luckily I didn't like, I mean, I don't know. I never went and saw a doctor, but yeah, it was like a shitty feeling. I was like, dude, I can't believe I'm getting freaking taken out on the toboggan right now. And then everyone's like watch, because they go right there by the lodge and stuff. Once they get down there, they gotta take you up.
Oh, somebody messed up.
Yeah, it was embarrassing as hell.
I had to get taken out by ski patrol one time So I was riding with Max and AJ and we were filming some stuff for Showdown and like everything had got done filming. I was like, okay, it was perfect. It was probably the best thing because I just like been riding for like a year or two by then. And I was like, yeah, that was awesome. It was like the best day I've had riding. Like I'm getting better. And then I go down, what's that creek right there under the double chair?
So that's like, yeah, where it drains in. I guess that's just the kind of the Ruby Gulch end, or I don't know if I really.
Yeah, it's like the very bottom of Panhandle, like under the
Yeah.
double chair. Anyways, I was riding and this kid cut right in front of me and I wasn't like very good with my edges yet. And I just like caught my front edge and I went flying forward and I hit this right here. So I hit my head. I wasn't wearing a helmet. And I hit my collarbone and snapped my collarbone like that.
Damn.
And ended up having to get surgery and I had to jump on the back of the snowmobile with him. I had a concussion and everything. One of the ski patrol guys actually drove my truck back to town with me in it. And yeah, he took me to the hospital and then he got a ride from there. And yeah, so saved me.
Damn, I thought mine was bad.
Yeah, and it was
Holy
like,
cow.
I was so disappointing too because like, number one, I didn't do anything cool when I got hurt. I just like, caught an edge and flew forward. And then number two, like, it was like the best day of riding that like I'd ever had. And I was like, oh, I was so pumped. I was like, I'm going to go one more run. It was the last run too. I was like, I'm going to go one more. And that's where I hurt myself.
Never call last run.
That last one got him.
You got to say 2 more -1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a concussion too because I ended up like, I was on the back of the snowmobile and they were taking me back to the lodge. And I ended up like having to tell them to like stop because I had to throw up from like hitting my head. And yeah. And like I said, I wasn't wearing a helmet. Always wear your helmet.
Yeah, helmets are cool.
Helmets are very cool.
Yeah, wear a helmet. Do that.
Well, I guess I did break my collarbone as well one time, up at Showdown as well. Yeah. I was riding with Ryan Coons and Tanner Veach and Hammy Sterner.
Hammy.
Yeah, old Ham. And we were going down Ruby Gulch above Midway right there and kind of where that natural half pipe is off on the side. And we were just cooking, just riding way too fast. And I thought it would be a great idea to air as high as I can and do a backside 180 and land blind and look straight up the hill at the boys. And so I proceeded to do that, landed, caught an edge, slammed right on my shoulder and slid for probably like 30 feet just on my shoulder like break dancer.
That's the worst feeling when you wreck really hard and then you like slide another like 35 feet.
Yeah.
It's like, please stop.
And finally like folded over and was like hurt. But what I thought I had just like dislocated my shoulder. So I proceed to have all the boys pull on it, try and get it back in, and it's just not working. So I have to ride all the way down to the double, ride up, and then ride back to the lodge. And it was a sick powder day, and the boys were like, you just sit in the lodge here. We're going to go finish up the rest of the day. So they left me in the lodge, and this is pre-beer, so I can't even have a beer. And I'm just like, hurting, holding my shoulder, just like still think it's just out of socket. So I'm like trying everything, just moving it on all the wrong places. And finally make it home. And I tell my dad, I'm like, yeah, I think I dislocated my shoulder today. I just can't get it back into place. It's really, really painful. And he's like, let me look at it. And he like lays me down and he's like pressing on it. And then he like gets my collarbone. He's like, you broke your AC joint, you dumbass. It's like, it's not your collarbone. Stop pulling on it. You're making it worse. Yeah. And it's still, I never got surgery or anything. So it's still just floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, I did this when I was here. I'll show you.
Yeah, show me. Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were out at my buddy's, his grandparents. Oh, yeah, dude, fuck. Yeah. He had
Twinsies.
same
Wait, I
shoulder
got
here.
one of those. I got surgery though.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
Is
You're
it-
better than me?
Is it all the left shoulders?
Yeah, I think mine's
Dude,
left.
that's a trip. Yeah, we
Dang.
all have the left shoulder. Yeah, we were just snowboarding at my buddy's grandparents had some property, and we like set up a kicker, and he was like, dude, my buddy Jeff was like fucking like 360ing over his like Forerunner and shit. Like he was really good. And I was like, oh, I could do something crazy, and I didn't even have any like boots on. I had like regular boots. We were just like riding, and I ate shit, went flying up in the air, fucking landed like straight on my stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't very exciting. It's like, oh, did you do like a front flip or anything? It's like, no, I kind of did like a third of a front flip maybe. And
I was trying to dive into the powder.
right. Yeah. It was just really exciting dive into the air, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know you mentioned backcountry there for a while. So something that we did that was really cool. We went out on a Smith and Rogue trip into the Tetons up by Showdown. And so we would go like a mile and a half back into that off Waldron Creek.
Yeah, I was up Waldron, right on the edge of the Bob Marshall Wilderness behind Teton Pass. And yeah, we hiked in, I think it was 2 miles.
It felt
2 miles, set up base camp, and then hiked the back bowls there and made a pretty sweet Smith and Rogue video. I carried, or I picked up Paris's bag that he brought in there. The thing was like 90 pounds. He made it back there like a champ. It was awesome.
I had like way overpacked. So like that camera bag was like full of everything. And it was probably like 50 pounds, maybe a little more.
Dude, it felt so heavy.
Yeah, it was way too much. And like, I'm terrible on skis and way better on a snowboard. And so like going in, I like went into like a tree well with like my feet.
Oh no.
And like I got stuck in there, and like Darren was ahead of me, so he wasn't able there to help me. So I had to like crawl my way out. And by the time I got there, I was like so tired and out of breath. But Max, you're underselling it a little bit because that mountain was epic. That was like
pretty sweet.
one of the coolest things I ever seen. Like I had a whole like new respect for you and AJ after watching you guys hit that mountain, because like being at the bottom of it and just looking straight up, it was so intense. And then you hit that like that one jump when going down.
Yeah.
That was badass. So I'll maybe put the footage in here because it was super cool.
Yeah,
or you can go check it out on Smith and Rogue's page, Finding Waldron.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. Just camping out, winter camping. That was like the second time I'd ever been actually winter camping. Really cold. You never really get warm. You just get less cold than you were before. Boots don't dry out. Gloves don't dry out. You got to poop in a little sack thing in the snow. That was rough. But all in all, I'd do it again.
Yeah.
And Ski Patrol wants us to do it again for Banff again. So
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to. So do you do a lot of stuff back in that area? Because I've never been to the ski hill. I heard it's really fun. I know I have a lot of friends that spend quite a bit of time over there, and
yeah,
they really like it. But
the ski hill itself is awesome. It's a little mom and pop resort. The kitchen there cooks dynamite food.
I heard they got bomb chili.
Dude,
This- I mean, this was years ago. My friend was telling me, but yeah, I heard he said the food there was pretty top tier.
Yeah, their bar is super quaint, and the mountain is pretty awesome. The ski lift itself, they have one ski lift and a little like rope tow thing. Ski lift itself goes up maybe 3/4 of the actual mountain. So it's a great jump off spot. You can ride up to the top, and then if you have split gear, hike up to the top when Ski Patrol opens it. But yeah, it's amazing country back there, and you can get into some big big lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy John Coleman is a huge snowboarder, and he used to go up there a shitload, I remember. So, yeah, I haven't even been back. I go to the Bob quite a bit, but I'm always hiking kind of over in Ear Mountain Game Range or a little bit closer towards the front.
Sure.
Like Cave Mountain, Route Creek area, a little bit past there. But, yeah.
I've hunted up there quite a bit, but
yeah. Well, if you ever want to go hiking, let me know. Yeah, I went and did 16 miles with my dog out in Cave Mountain this year.
Dang.
Yeah, in 5.5 hours, dude.
Woo.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that, but I'll try.
You'll get there. Well, we don't have to do 15. It's just fun to get out, dude. When it was just her and I don't like doing that to people like when I'm on a hike with, she's a young dog, so I knew she could handle it. But yeah, if I'm out with friends, I won't fucking death march them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, we can make it fun. No, I got to work on slowing down because Libby wants to go more with me. And even when we're like walking, I just take long ass strides and I don't pay attention.
You like those long dancer legs.
Yeah. Well, he's short as hell, so yeah.
Hey, I resemble that.
Yeah. Sorry, Shouty. Sorry, Shouty.
Yeah, that would be freaking super fun. In Paris, AJ has some plans for another film trip, so we got a bunch of places picked out, some spots in the Crazy Mountains, down south by Dillon, Lima Peaks, and the big adventure he wants to go on, let's put it out in the ether now. He wants to go behind Waldron Creek into the Bob Marshall all the way through to like Sealy. So
damn, all the way through. How far is that?
it's a long ways.
I gotta get on my cardio.
But the cool thing about that is it's possible we could get a first descent on a mountain out there. So it'd be the first people to ski it would be super sick. I'm not sure exactly really which one, but that'd be cool.
That sounds super epic. I gotta get on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Let's go get some cardio in, dude.
Right?
Hell yeah. So what do you do? Do you do anything extra to kind of keep in shape, or do you just...
Man, I just try to stay active. Snowboard a lot in the wintertime, mountain bike, and play a lot of disc golf in the summertime, wakeboard whenever I can, and try to stay a clean diet, but nothing too crazy. Not too crazy about it. Yeah. Last year, this time I was about 205 pounds. And now I'm down to about 165.
God damn.
Yeah. All I did literally was stopped eating junk food and intermittent fast, where I only eat from noon to like 8. But that's just during the week. During the weekend, I go crazy.
Right.
And fuck, dude.
Right.
Just fell off.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it's crazy how much when you start... I try not, sometimes, I don't know, I go crazy. If you look at the shit sometimes too much, you need to, but it's just everything that you eat, dude. Just has so much shit in it, bro, and it drives me crazy. And I go through phases of eating like really terribly, then I'll go long stretches of, because after I quit drinking, I always liked candy and shit anyways, and then after I quit drinking, like I wanted sugar even more, so I go through phases of eating like a lot of sours. I love sour stuff, and ice cream is kind of...
Sour Patch Kid.
Oh, dude, all of it. Sour Mambas, freaking sour Skittles, sour Starburst, all that shit, dude.
Yeah. I've been trying to keep away from that. Now that I'm down weight, I've been slacking a bit, but you get back on it.
You get to a point where you're like, all right, I fucking need to eat bad.
Yeah.
That was like last year. I was kind of on, I'm always kind of like on a health kick, but I was steadily dropping weight and like body fat in between December and January. I was like down, December to January, I didn't gain any weight. I was down to like 182 and like 10% body fat. I was all right, I'm ready to eat shit.
Put it back on.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Like after you do that too, is like, you can feel it the next day. It's like, like an actual sugar hangover.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, my stomach, my head, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, dude, for real.
It's real.
Well, yeah, I don't drink like we just don't eat a lot of like, or drink a lot of soda and just eat a lot of shit like that anyway. So yeah, whenever we go kind of crazy and eat a bunch of like, or like get a bag of chips and stuff the next day, you're just like, why the fuck?
Why did I do it? Yeah, ice cream for sure.
Yeah. And I think I may be slightly lactose intolerant, but I don't give a fuck. I'll be sitting there with one of those huge tubs of Neapolitan ice cream and a thing of peanuts and fucking chocolate, dude, hammering that bad boy down.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Max, what do you think about the UFC fights this weekend?
Oh, super duper excited. Yeah. Run them by me.
Okay, so we're gonna go from
Taking picks.
from bottom to top. So we got Kevin Holland versus Renier de Ritter. I don't really know that guy. I definitely know Kevin Holland, so I'll be cheering for Kevin Holland. And then after that, you have Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I definitely got Renato Moicano on that. He's going on a tear, so I think that'll be badass. Then you have Yuri Prohaska versus Jamal Hill, which I think will be a really good fight. And they're both coming off of KO losses from Alex Pereira. But I think I'm picking Yuri Prohaska in that one.
Really?
And for sure.
Come on, man.
And then you got Merab Dvalishvili. I don't really like him. And because he beat Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
And then Umar Nurmagomedov.
He's a backpack, man. He's good, but
yeah. And then after that, you have Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian. And I think that would be like, if anybody's going to beat Islam Makhachev, it's probably Arman Sarukian, which they already fought once. So this is their second fight. And it was a close decision. So that'll be a good fight.
Hell yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to touch Islam for a while.
Yeah. What do you think about like that Dagestani wrestling style?
Dude, it is insane. They are some tough ass people, man. You just can't get them off you. It's insane. They're experts.
Yeah.
Far.
Definitely.
By
and then
far.
And then one thing too about Islam Makhachev and Umar Nurmagomedov. So Umar is Khabib's cousin, and then I think Islam is like either
trained.
Well, he definitely trains with Khabib, and then I want to say he's related to him somehow. I don't know, but yeah, all those mountain Russians and their crazy wrestling are definitely tearing through the UFC right now.
Fighting bears and fucking.
Yeah, man, they're insane. It isn't the most fun to watch as like, for most people, but I like to watch it.
Right. When it's like hard to say because it's like, well, it's a super technical aspect of, that's a part of the sport. You know what I mean? So, but like watching, like, I don't know, it's like if the person that's the champion fights like that all the time, I guess. Well, like watching like Sean O'Malley's fight. You know what I mean? It's like he's just such an exciting fighter. Like the fights that he's been in, I feel they're always like really exciting. So then to watch him go out in that sense, not like a KO or like, he was banging with someone the whole time. Like obviously that would be more exciting, but
yeah,
I guess
it's just totally different. I don't know how they could change it for the more casual fan. Like I said, I do like to see it because it is super technical and it takes a tremendous amount of skill to hold a professional fighter down for 14 minutes or however long. But
your strength and cardio alone, and
it's we want to see the fireworks though,
See, I like both. I like the fireworks and the people who do like the really like fancy kickboxing, like your Israel Adesanya or your Sean O'Malley, that have those like really kind of flashy, cool styles when they're knocking people out. But then also, I mean, it's mixed martial arts, so you gotta like mix in all of them. So you're gonna have these people who are like totally dominant and going in and doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, grappling has always dominated the sport from the beginning. So I mean, it makes sense that it still is.
I guess I would like if they mixed it more, like instead of just the wrestling.
MMA or mixed martial arts.
Yes.
Yeah, I just, I don't know how you would do that. But
yeah, I think I'm definitely picking the underdogs for this one. I like Arman Saruki, and he's been looking really good lately. And then Umar, I mean, he trains with Khabib, so hopefully he can knock Merab off. Yep. And then Umar's actually more of a striker than he's a really good wrestler, obviously, for training with Khabib. But like his background is in Muay Thai. So him coming in and fighting Merab, and then if he beats Merab, he's probably going to face Sean O'Malley for the belt, which that would be a sick fight.
Wasn't that what Tim said that they were hoping to do, like in like 9 to 10 months?
Yeah, that was like
were-
something that they were looking at.
He said that
definitely.
was totally like, still way up.
Yeah, he said it was like, kind of up in the air and whatnot,
Right.
but it's kind of cool to like have him say that because like everybody's kind of thinking that, but to like kind of get a little bit of insight from that
Right.
camp was pretty sweet.
Know that
So-
that's what they're still, going after and whatnot. And they said it here first. So
And they said it here first. Yes.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I wrestled with Tim too. He was a year ahead of me.
yeah, he was in the same weight grade as my brother. Actually,
Yep.
They wrestled a shitload.
Yep.
I remember back in the day.
Yep. He's a super cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have done a little more wrestling. And then actually, right after high school, I moved to Vegas. And I was going to live down there for a year and then go to college at Reno and be a ski bum. But when I was down there, I had an opportunity to coach at a high school there for a little bit. I didn't last very long, but after one of the practices there, a bunch of their top wrestlers were going to MMA practice at the UFC gym down there, and they invited me along, and I left it on the table and never went, which is like probably nothing would have came of it, but
Still,
it was out there.
Right.
It was like could have touched it.
yeah.
That's cool that they invited you though.
Yeah, because I mean, I was only 19 at the time, and so not too old. And I was coaching. I think it was called Coronado High School down there, which is like a 4A or something. It was like pretty big deal. And so their kids were good, but I was whipping the shit out of them at practice, like for being out of shape and like. Yeah, they weren't that good, and so they were like, "Yeah, you should come to the gym with us." And I'm like, I got better things to do, which was chase tail in Las Vegas.
Well, yeah, dude, you're 9. I was gonna say, dude, I was such a degenerate at that age. Like, I couldn't even imagine. Like,
Oh
fucking
man, if
living
I could
that
talk to
day.
myself back then, it'd be a good conversation. Still wouldn't listen to me probably.
Yeah,
You ever thought about doing jujitsu?
Yeah, I'd like to, but I got so many hobbies going on, man. I can't. I'll think about it.
You should come because I'm gonna start going back again
Are ya?
soon because my knee was messed up actually from Showdown.
Yeah.
Going through like those trees where it gets all tracked out, and it was like towards the very end of the year. It was a little bit slushy. My board just like stabbed into like one of those things, and I like flew over it all crazy.
Ooh.
So yeah, my knee was messed up. But yeah, I want to start going back. We should go roll.
Go roll.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I want to start getting a little bit of boxing training in. So that's my goal. One of my goals this year.
Heck yeah.
I said it last year, but I wanted to do an amateur boxing match, and I'd like to do that this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said it last year. But I was going to Dave's gym for a little bit, but those guys always have like at least multiple people getting ready for a fight, so they're always trained. And it is cool to learn some of the other stuff, but it's like I just wanted to learn some of like basic stand up, and defense shit and stuff. So I talked to a couple people, and maybe this year I'll get a little bit more training in. So
Yeah, definitely.
well, it's just, I don't know, a fun way to get some cardio and do a little bit of different exercise outside of the gym.
Mhm. That's how like I would get my cardio in is either jujitsu or kickboxing because like it's so you have to like be thinking all the time. Even if you're just like hitting pads, you got to be thinking about exactly what you're doing. And then if you do sparring after, you're super tired, and then you're doing. You got to be thinking about what they're doing, what you're going to do, and whatnot. So I like that, like, kind of mind thing a little bit more with it, rather
Right.
than just like walking on the treadmill, being like, "Oh, is this over?"
Right. Yeah, and it is fun, especially when you have someone else throwing punches at you. It's exciting for one. Like that actually was like fun because I sparred like very, very lightly, like sparred with like Ryan Ipson a little bit. And Lance, it was so funny. Like one of the first times I actually like threw someone in a cage was like with him, and he throws this crazy like overhand like right. Dude, it's so nuts. But yeah, it was fun because I hadn't been punched in the face in a long time, and I forgot. Like it's kind of psychotic, but it like gets you like amped, what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Drew, I think he kicked me in the head like 3 or 4 times while we were down there. They were like talking about something, and he's like, "Yeah, I was talking about wanting to switch something up because we were doing whatever kind of combo and work and whatever else." And then he just like throws a fucking head kick out of nowhere and just like smoked me across the face. And
Oh.
I was a little annoyed. I gave him a nice teep to the chest later on. But
Nice. Max, you did boxing because you fought in the Smokers in high school.
Yeah, two of the smokers in high school. And I can tell you, yeah, training for boxing and being in fighting shape is very hard. And especially when you go out there and you're throwing 100% every swing, you just get exhausted. And I think we fought 3 2.5 minute rounds. And by the end of it, I was toast. But yeah, short amateur boxing career, 2-0. Pretty stoked.
Yeah. Who was
One
that?
knockout.
Was that Jamaican guy? Was he Jamaican? Because he
not
came
sure.
from out of town. I think he was from CMR.
Yes.
And he was like, had done like professional boxing, and like you were gonna fight him, and that's all the talk was in high school. It was like, oh, Max is fighting this guy. It's gonna be so sick, and you ended up beating him.
Yeah, ended up knocking him out with a body punch, which was sweet.
Yeah.
But I just gassed him, trained harder than he did. He thought he was just going to walk me, and he was walking me the first round. And then I finally was able to chase him down and get him in a corner and start working. He had quite the reach on me, so he was keeping me at bay really good. I think that was senior year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was senior year.
Yeah, and then junior year is when I fought, and it was the bloodiest match ever. We both had just gushing noses, and we're both just swinging for the fences and no head movement. Every swing was connecting, and I don't know how we both stood the whole time, but I don't know. I want to find some of that footage. I don't know where.
Yeah,
it is.
I was thinking that, especially that one where you guys got all bloody, because there was a ton of blood. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was definitely like the most exciting fight that night, and it was super cool to watch.
Yeah, I think my mom has that shirt I was wearing framed with a picture afterwards
Nice.
of me all bloody somewhere in the house. It's pretty
Good
cool.
times. I remember going to a couple of those smokers. This shit was always intense.
Yeah, your brother fought in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he fought Jeremy Strong one year, and then I think Jake Brown boxed Tim Welch, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, I think that was the same year my brother fought Jeremy, and yeah, those fights were intense, bro.
Wasn't it the second year Colton and Chris Davidson?
Oh
Yeah, that was another
That
one.
was a
too.
sick
That
fight.
was-
Yeah. I told my brother, I was like, you gotta train for shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I could knock a motherfucker out. Not saying like he could knock Chris out, but he's just like, I'll knock anyone out. Fuck that. Yeah, that was a good one, dude. Holy shit, I totally forgot about that.
Chris has a chin on him, man. You
And
not
dude-
gonna knock him out.
His freaking hands, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's got
I
eight.
felt him
hands, bro.
before.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Yeah.
we used to have like super amateur boxing at my house
Oh,
with in our trampoline, because we
On
had
the
like the
tramp-
nets around it. So we would all like box each other. That's like all we did for like 2 years. It was go over there in the summer and just beat the shit out of each
Yeah.
other.
We used to do that at fucking Matt Odegaard's on the back patio because he had that that room with the hot tub and shit in it, and then right outside of there they had this back patio. And I watched fucking Jake Brown. I can't remember who it was, bro. But he just fucking clocked someone with this left hook, and this person went fucking flying through the screen door and like ripped the screen door and like ripped it off the wall and shit.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
we had a lot of fun back then. Now I just want to box. We should get some shit like that going, like some sanctioned amateur boxing.
Yeah.
Link up with Fusion and
Yeah, get a trampoline.
yeah. Oh,
Trampoline
dude.
boxing?
It'd be like slam ball boxing.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. I think we got a good
I
idea.
think you're onto something.
Yeah, we're onto
Trampoline MMA.
Hey,
Sure, we got ideas.
there's no way that anything can go wrong there.
No.
I can't see anything going wrong there. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we're about an hour.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're kind of hitting that hour, and I got some things I got to do before I go to sleepy time tonight. Got to prepare for that fucking cold weather rolling in.
oh man, it's gonna be cold this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm stocking my house up with a bunch of wood right now, so I don't have to go outside and do it when it's going. So.
Yeah, I have to be up at the ski hill. I hope there's going to be an inversion, because that happens sometimes. So it'll be like negative whatever 15 10 here, and then it'll be like 5 degrees up there.
Yep.
Feels like 30.
Yeah, I've been at some gnarly days at Showdown. I remember in like high school, it was like fucking. It was like so cold it literally like froze my fucking snowboarding jacket. Like,
Yeah.
it looked like it was like whipping in the wind. So good luck to you. Stay safe out there. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. It's always fun seeing you.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay safe out there, and hopefully everyone out there skiing stays safe and doesn't make you work too hard out there.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Paris, you want to send us out?
Yeah, this is Through the Ropes podcast. Thank you for listening. We're out.
We out.